We are building a 64-acre conservation area right smack dab in the middle of 6.2 million people. That is absolutely remarkable.
Hi, I'm Sherwin Watson-Lung. I work with Credit Valley Conservation, and I'm the Program Manager of Aquatic and Wetland Restoration. Welcome to the Jim Tovey Lakeview Conservation Area. We're located on the northwestern shore of Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is one of the 5 Great Lakes. It's the smallest, most downstream of the lakes, and it discharges into the St. Lawrence River, which eventually ends up into the Atlantic Ocean. There's roughly 9 million people who live in the Lake Ontario watershed. Historically, the ecology in the area was pristine. To the east of the site, we had a Tovey Creek as it entered into Lake Ontario. And here there was a unique wetland that formed. The wetland changed shape over time depending on Lake Ontario water levels, the conditions in Etobicoke Creek, and the conditions of the beach. There were 2 other streams on the property as well, 2 small streams named Surson Creek and Applewood Creek. Along the shorelines, we would have found large, vast forests, typically Carolinian, made of pine and oak, as well as grasslands. With European colonization and the developments of the cities of Mississauga and Toronto, the ecology started getting degraded. The mouth of Etobicoke Creek and that unique wetland that formed unique habitat there was eventually filled in. The 2 creeks, Surson Creek and Applewood Creeks, were altered in their shape and form. In fact, Surson Creek was buried in a pipe. Lastly, the forests were cut down and used for construction and shipbuilding. Through the environmental assessment, we developed a concept to build 26 hectares of new habitat. The habitat will consist of 12 hectares of meadow, 8 hectares of wetland, 5 hectares of forest, and 1 hectare of cobble beach, all along 1.6 kilometers of new shoreline. When we were developing the different habitats and trying to figure out what we could build here, we looked at what historically was here, what species are here now, and what will happen with climate change. And we wanted to make sure the habitats would be viable. Through the design, our shoreline engineer, Shore Plan Engineering, worked with Natural Resources Canada to build a 1:35 scale model in Ottawa, about 7 hours from here. They built this working model of the design in a wave tank so that they could simulate the different direction of waves as well as different sizes of storm. In this way, they could adjust the design to real-world conditions and optimize the design to make sure it worked.